Mr. Tuchel, Mr. Deschamps, you got some explaining to do. We'll discuss. Welcome.
How his country needs him here. Cristiano Ronaldo, yes! Oh, yes!
Welcome to episode 214 of the Football Weekly Podcast. I'm your host, Reginald Dino. Boy, we're just coming off two semifinal games, two shocking semifinal games. Both of them had shocks in it for me. The team that I would pick both teams that I would pick to have won those ties did not. And one was emphatic, and one was crazy tactics. Crazy tactics. I don't get it. But we'll discuss all of those. We'll discuss both those games, and I don't know if we're going to preview the finals today. Well, the final's going to be Spain, Argentina. Like we have one more chance to not have to hear about this for 4 years. One more chance. And I like Spain's odds, but I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, and he was telling me he thinks, who did he say was going to get a red? Oh, Cucurella was going to get a red, and it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be one of those games. I countered with Rodri's going to get the red, and then Pedro Porro's going to get a red in like the 93rd minute or the 94th minute or something like that. That's what I thought. That's what I think is going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. But the way this World Cup's been going, I mean, let's just get it over with. Just give it to them like you did the last World Cup. Just get it over with, because after this World Cup, you're never going to see Argentina again anyway. FIFA and Infantino, they don't care about Alvarez and Romero and Simeone, McAllister, donkeys. They don't care about those guys. They care about one guy on that team. Once he's gone, you're never going to see Argentina again. But let's start off France and Spain. I don't understand this. Well, I do understand how they lost. I was telling my sister, who was shocked that this happened, and I was watching the game. I'm not. France depends on individuals. Here's the ball. Go do your thing. Mbappe has to beat 3, 4, 5 guys in order for them to get a chance. Dembele has to do the same. Barcola has to do the same. Even though you have Olise and you have even Cherki on the bench, if you needed a playmaker. But the only opportunities they really have are the one-on-one opportunities that they take, or the one-on-one opportunities that players like Mbappe, Dembele get. We're on the other side of the ball, Spain, they create chances through 1-2s, quick movement, recycling the ball, other side, bam, 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 passing. The second goal Pedro Porro scored, that touch by Dani Olmo is incredible. Now you're going to look at it and say, well, he probably maybe it wasn't his touch. Maybe it was a defender who tried to defend it, whatever it is. I believe Dani Olmo was trying to play that ball. Anyway. So you have one team playing like a full-blown team, which is when you bring your squad into the World Cup, you should already have your team selection in your mind. You should already know who your best 11 is, and you should be playing that. Barring any change where one of your best players doesn't play his best and needs to be substituted or changed, but you're talking about 1 or 2 guys, maybe 2 guys. But when you're switching 3, 4, 5 guys in the semifinal of a World Cup, maybe the preparation wasn't correct. Maybe the preparation for the tournament wasn't correct. How you're going into a game and you don't know who your best 11 is, how you're going into a tournament and you know who your best 11 is. The lineups change all the time. Now, I've said it before in different game and in different podcasts. If you win your first 2 group games and you want to rotate for the third one, go ahead. Who cares? You're already through. But rocking up in the semifinals and now we're gonna play you there. I know you don't play that position ever, but we're gonna put you there. And I'm not talking about France and Spain, but again, we'll get to England. We'll get to England, Argentina. What a disgrace from England. Disgrace. Two major things will be. Well, I'm only going to talk about two things in the France Spain game. For me, I don't know why it wasn't looked at. Maybe it was looked at, but the penalty shot that Lamine Yamal was able to win. I don't know. Was that not a handball? He moved his arm into the way of the ball. Is that not a handball? I know the rule came in. It has to be below your shirt sleeve before it can be a handball, but I don't even know if it was checked. When it happened in real time, I was saying, oh, they're going to bring that back. That can't be a penalty shot. Once they look at it, they're going to call that a handball. And they didn't. So, I don't know. I guess it's up for the debate. No one's talking about it, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it isn't a handball. But I thought the rule, maybe the rules changed, but I thought the rule was your shirt sleeve. Anything below that, it hits your arm, it's a handball. Especially when you move your arm into the way of it. Whatever. The hell do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. The second thing in that game is, as an Arsenal fan, you see Saliba go down, nobody around him, has the ball at his feet and just sits down on the pitch and then kicks the ball out of bounds and just like, I'm done. Not what you want to see as an Arsenal fan. And now we hear the results. He might be out for 4 to 5 months. I'm not expecting to see Saka, Rice, Saliba. Well, I wasn't Saliba, and all those players till October anyway. Like after the first international break, I wasn't expecting to see those guys until then anyway. The guys in England play entirely too many games. It probably shows when they're playing in tournaments like this when it gets to the end. They play entirely too many games. With qualifying, with FA Cup, League Cup, if you're in Champions League, like take Arsenal for example. They went it's down to the wire. Down to the wire to the last game. Finals of the Champions League. They played in the League Cup. I think they lost in the semis in the League Cup. They lost in the finals of the League Cup. I think they lost in the either quarters or semis of the FA Cup. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of games at that level. It's easy when you get to walk around shit leagues and you're just walking around doing whatever you're doing, playing against NCAA freshmen or NCAA rookies. And you're just walking around. It's easy to stay fresh like that. But when you're actually playing in a league that, there's a little bit of bite to it, it's harder. It's harder on the body. You're gonna see players from those leagues suffer. Well, what happened to Bruno Fernandes? He's awful. Lots of games. Lots of games. What happened to Declan Rice? Lots of games. I was looking at the ratings yesterday from the England. Oh, we'll talk about England actually, but before I forget, I was looking at the ratings for the England game, and we talked about this on another episode when I spoke about Jonathan David. Like, why are players above substitution? Why can't certain players be subbed? Or why are certain players above criticism? I was looking at the ratings yesterday. I think it was TalkSport. They gave Harry Kane a 6 yesterday. 6. Harry Kane, a 6. I think they gave Anthony Gordon a 6 as well. Guys, it's okay. Harry Kane played like a bag of shit the last 2 games. It's okay. It's okay. You can say it. I know he's the captain. I know he's the leading goal scorer, whatever he is. I know. Harry Houdini yesterday. When the team needed him most. Not really much I wanted to say about the France game. I have a clip of Didier Deschamps after the game. I mean, for me, the clip, he got the game plan totally wrong for me. You've played Spain before and they were slapping you before you turned it around. I think it was a Nation League final or semifinal before you turned it around and scored 3 goals or whatever. And it was a 5-3 or 5-4 game back then. But the warning signs were there from back then. And he didn't change or fix anything. Didn't change or fix anything. Rabiot and Tchouaméni on the field at the same time. Why? Why? N'Golo Kante doesn't see the field. Why? Anyways, this is what Didier Deschamps had to say after the game.
Didier, vous avez eu un parcours admirable.
Didier, it's been a good campaign.
Un parcours admirable sur le banc de l'équipe de France.
And you've had an amazing career on the France
Et j'ai envie de vous dire merci.
And we'd like to say thank you for everything you've given. Well, I would have preferred to be saying this in 4 days. There's a lot of disappointment now. I feel quite numb. We had a lot of ambitions here, but we have to accept that we were not at our best today. Technically, Spain really mastered the game. First of all, it is our fault. But is this referee up to the level of refereeing a World Cup semi-final? I don't know. But I don't want to talk about that. It's not because we lost that I'm saying this, but I think it's a question that needs to be raised. The first reason, the main reason we're out is because we weren't up to it. A bit below our best, less dangerous going forward. We made some technical errors. We missed some passes that could have developed some dangerous situations. It hurts us. It was the last step to the final. We'll play the third place game now. I don't want to throw away everything that we've done that's positive. But it's a very disappointing night for us.
So there's your boy, Didier Deschamps, putting some of the blame for that on the ref. I know he took a little bit of credit, well, not credit, but a little bit of the blame. But at the same time, again, this isn't the FA Cup. This is your World Cup squad. Best 11 out there. You should know what the best 11 is. These guys have been playing together forever. This should be like clockwork. They should have looked the same way Spain looked. Spain's clockwork. Spain's clockwork. There's another 2 minutes of that. Press conference, but I'm not gonna play that. That's Didier Deschamps' last game as the manager, as the manager of the French national team. Well, actually, it's not the last game. He's going to manage the third place game, and then that will be his farewell. We'll see what happens. But yeah, very disappointing from France. And I mean, it's not that. Well, I did think France was going to win, but it's not going to be a cakewalk over Spain. Spain's a very, very, very good team, but I still thought they would be able to get it over the line. And I'm not taking anything away from Spain. They were fantastic. They've been fantastic the whole tournament. So here's hoping that they can get it done on Sunday afternoon. But those are some of the questions that I raised to myself during those games. The first one is I don't understand how the Lamine Yamal wasn't a handball, but we move. Now we go to yesterday's semifinal, England versus Argentina. Shocked. It was a shocking display. Not from the get-go. I think the English tactic or the English game plan was good. Anytime Messi gets the ball, we're there. Boom. Leave something in on him. Hasn't had to deal with that in any of the games so far. And like I mentioned in the previous podcast, England's going to be a different proposition for Argentina. Because they're going to play tough. That's tough, not dirty, tough. And any nonsense that happens, they're going to call it out loud. They're going to call it out loud. They have a big, they have a big reputation within UEFA and FIFA for whatever reason. I don't know. But they do have a big reputation there. The Euros are in the UK as well. So, I mean, going forward, you have to make sure you're keeping England happy as well. But there were some things in that game yesterday. I don't know how some guy stayed on the field. Well, not stayed on the field, but even no yellow, barely any, like 2-3 yellow cards. Crazy. I saw a player from Chelsea punch someone in the back of the head. VAR says nothing. On the second goal, I saw Messi commit the same foul that they say the Egyptian player did on Lisandro Martinez. When the referees and VAR went 100 yards back and 30 seconds and looked at it and said, no, that's a foul. I saw the exact same foul on Jed Spence. Go look it for yourself. Even Messi, even when Elliot Anderson got punched in the back of the head, even Messi was like, uh-oh. And even he was looking for the ref. Where's the ref? Like, did he see that? Even he was looking around like, I don't think he can do that. But no call. I saw Elliot Anderson get undercut by a player in the box going up for a head ball. No call, no VAR, nothing. This might sound like sour grapes towards Argentina. It's not. I'm telling you what I saw. I'm telling you what happened. I'm telling you the result of what happened. Nothing happened. Thomas Tuchel. And by the way, the English FA are keeping Thomas Tuchel through the Euros. So unless he resigns, he's going to be coaching the English national team during the Euros. He should have resigned yesterday. If that was the game plan after you scored to do that, can't coach at that level. Thomas Tuchel coached that game like it was a Monday night game at 3:00 in the FA Cup. That's how he coached that game. And 4 of my best players are injured. That's how he coached that game. That's a semifinal of a World Cup, and you're doing that. That's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to take a screenshot of my WhatsApp conversation about 5 minutes before Argentina scored, where I said in my group chat, you cannot play like this. You're going to sit back and play in a low block. You're going to park the bus for 30 minutes. I don't care who you're playing. You're going to be under severe pressure. And it only takes one deflection or a stupid this or a handball or a stupid foul in the box that you didn't mean to do. And now you're stuck. It couldn't. And listening to the press conference, which I have here, and I'll let you hear. I'll play the whole thing of that. Either one of two things is true. Either this was Thomas Tuchel's game plan, or the players just say, we're going to do whatever we want. Screw you. After he threw them under the bus in a previous press conference. If you haven't heard that, go listen to that. Hilarious. I think it was after was it Mexico? Was it the Mexico game? Oh, no, it was a Norway game. It was after the Norway game. How Thomas Tuchel threw his players under the bus. But anyways, here's Thomas Tuchel playing the whole thing. It needs to be heard.
Well, Thomas, the World Cup journey ends here at the semi-final. What are your immediate thoughts at full time?
Yeah, we're disappointed. We were so close, but we got too passive after we scored and conceded a lot of chances and could not turn the ball possession around. And just conceded so many crosses and chances and shots. So yeah, we were close, but couldn't keep the level up after we scored.
You've made defensive substitutions in the past couple of matches when we have gone ahead in a game. You did the same again today. Why do you feel they didn't work today?
Yeah, I did also offensive substitutions in the last games. We just tried to help the player. We conceded straight away. We decided to go to a back five because the gaps were far too open. They won every header. They kept crossing and crossing. So we went to a back five to close the gaps inside and be stronger in the air because straight after our goal with no substitution, we just conceded way too many crosses and way too many chances. So we tried to help, but of course the responsibility is on the coach. And if it doesn't go wrong, it's easy to say that it was. If it doesn't go well, it's easy to say that it was wrong.
Given the point in the game that it was there ever any thought process in your mind about maybe trying to go for the second goal?
Yeah, but it doesn't help if you don't have the ball. If we couldn't get out, of course we wanted to go for the second goal, but I had not the feeling that offensive substitution would help. It was we stayed in our 4-4-2, but became passive, more and more passive. We couldn't win any balls, couldn't keep the ball. So I think it was not a structural problem. We changed nothing after the goal, but the match changed completely. But again, it's no problem. I can understand that these discussions are out there, and like, of course, million of coaches after the game who know it better. And
I guess the question would be as well, though, did it perhaps invite more pressure on a defence that had already put so much into previous matches?
Well, you can discuss this with a million coaches. I have to make a decision on the pitch. It's how I analyze the match, and I did take the responsibility.
No regrets over that then? Any other regrets, Thomas?
No, in the moment, no regrets. The team gave everything, and we were very, very close. I think we deserved to be up 1-0. Played one of our better matches, maybe the best match in the circumstances. Team was top. We couldn't bring it over the line. No, in the moment, no regrets.
You mentioned throughout the tournament that we'd see a better England. Did we ever really see Thomas Tuchel's England that you wanted to see?
I don't know. I have no answer to that question because I don't really know what that means. It's. I don't know. I think we saw the mentality throughout the match and the strong group, and we played the matches how they were. We played a strong against strong teams in the group. We had a lot of miles, a lot of traveling. We played in altitude. We played in 10-man. We played in the heat. We overcame every obstacle. We were very, very close today. It's not the moment now to analyze the full tournament. We just went out because we lost a crucial match.
Thanks for your time, Thomas.
So that's Thomas Tuchel coming out and saying. Well, coming out after the post game against Argentina, that's Thomas Tuchel. For me, that's all on the coach. That has to be if you watch the game, that's the coach's instruction. I'm sorry, it has to be. It's got to be. Coming out saying you're passive, that's you now. The United States has now made this into a basketball game. There's 4 quarters. You have the first water break, you have halftime, you have the second water break. You need to change something there. This is the instruction from the coach. And if that's the instruction from the coach, like I said earlier, you should have resigned after the game. You cannot play like that. You can't play like that. Bringing in a back five to me is you're down a man like you were against Mexico. And you bring in a back five because you have to, you're going to suffer for that time. Because at this level, it doesn't matter who you're playing, the Mexicans or whoever, you didn't suffer against the Mexicans. They played like dummies, so you're not going to suffer against them. But any other team, if you're down a man against Norway, you're going to suffer. Right? Maybe, you bring in a 5th defender to help defend because you're going to be defending more times than not. But in 11, why are you bringing in another defender? You should be going for the second. You should be going for the third. They get a second goal, that game is over. I don't care who's on the other team. That game's done. They get a second. So many things to discuss and to pick apart. You're conceding shots. I also wanted to show you a still picture. I forgot to download it again. I wanted to show you a still picture of the goal that Enzo Martinez scored. and show you where the players were on England. It's awful. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in. So you can see there's 2 guys at the top left here, at the top left. There's 4 English players. There's 2 Argentinian players. Okay. Every single player on the English national team, you can count them. They're in the box. Every one of them. How many yards do you think you can see the ball going to Enzo Fernandez here? How many yards away do you think the nearest English player is to him? He had just taken 2 shots previously, where he wound up and hit from there. So he's going to hit again. As much as you don't like these players, as much as you don't rate these players, they are professional soccer players that play in big leagues. They might be able to score from out there if you give them enough opportunities. I was talking to someone yesterday. He was saying that game should have been 3 or 4-1, and he's right. McAllister hit the post twice. The header, he should have scored 100%. The one that hit the first one that hit the post, he should have scored that 100%. And the 2 goals that they scored, they probably should have won this game 4-1. Just based on the nonsense that Thomas Tuchel's playing. Very, 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 very easy to play against. That's a training match for Argentina. Training match. Still looking back at player selection, not even just player selection in that game, actually coming back to that player selection in that game. Morgan Rogers isn't a winger. I know he assisted the goal, but he's not a winger. Not a winger. Where was Saka? Where was Rashford? Those guys are used to playing on the wing. Where are those guys? Morgan Rogers plays in the middle of the field in Aston Villa for the whole season. Now in the semifinal of the World Cup, Morgan, go play on the wing. Not a winger. Not a winger. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable to watch. And then some people are even going back into the selection, the team selection, the actual team selection that got picked to go to the United States and play in the World Cup. If you want to say you should have taken Cole Palmer, whatever. If you take Cole Palmer, I don't even think he would have played. Anyways, Phil Foden, same with Phil Foden. I don't think he would have ever played. You're talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a terrible defender. He's fantastic going forward. He's a terrible defender. I don't know if that helps you. Harry Maguire helps you against Mexico when they're just serving balls in. But Harry Maguire against a technical team has, I don't think that helps you. Leaving a guy like Madison out. I don't know. I know he was hurt but he came back towards the end of the season. I don't know. I think that's somebody I would have taken over Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson was on the national team. He's the guy that broke his arm in the celebration. He was on the national team. That's a spot wasted to me. And if you're listening out there, I know you're not, but somehow you hear this, Kobe Mainu, just declare for Ghana. Just come play for Ghana. You'd play every minute of every game. You and Thomas Partey beside each other feeding Semieno and Kudus. It would have been beautiful. Just leave England. Not 1 minute. He couldn't get 1 minute in that tournament. Not 1 minute in that tournament. Think about it. Think about it. Ghana, you don't miss a game. Don't end up like Fikayo Tomori, who wanted to play for England when Gareth Southgate came and gave him his debut. He tied his availability for other countries because he could have played for Canada. If Fikayo Tomori was declared for Canada, he would have played every minute of every game from Copa America to the World Cup. It would have been him and Bombito in the middle. But you wanted to play for England. Southgate gave you your debut. Now you can't switch, and now they don't pick you for the national team. Kobe, don't end up like that, my friend. Don't end up like that. Anyways, moving on. Needed a playmaker in that team. I don't understand what. Well, again, I'm not a national team coach. I watched one of the greatest coaches of all time in Carlo Ancelotti play a dual midfield of Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes together. I watched that nonsense. I watched Tuchemani and Rabiot play together. And then I watched Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson play together. The same player. I don't agree with Graham Souness on absolutely anything. I actually don't like Graham Souness. But today he said something that was actually true. As much as I love Declan Rice, there's not a line splitting ball between the two of those guys. So what do you have them there for? To just protect the back line? Where's your playmaker? Where's your number 10? Where's your James Maddison? Where's your Ebery Chiesa? Where are those guys? Well, Eze was on the bench. Didn't get a minute that game when you needed to go forward and get a goal. You'd rather bring in Ivan Toney than a playmaker. And at the end of the interview, he said there's a million coaches out there. They all make the decision. Please, guys, please don't do that. Don't do that. Because during the game, people were saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's not after the fact. It's while it was happening, people were saying, what are you doing? I don't know, guys. Crazy decisions. Sit back and absorb pressure for 25 minutes because we have a one goal. That's crazy. That's club soccer. That's club soccer. That's a game on Sunday, and we got a Champions League game on Wednesday that we need to win. That's that soccer. That's that kind of soccer. That's not semifinal World Cup soccer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You want to see that? Go watch Spain. That's semi-cup World Cup soccer. Semifinal World Cup soccer. Anyways, I don't know. I look on the bright side. The bright side is we don't have to hear English fans. If they won the World Cup, holy smokes! You think they're unbearable now? Wow. I have an asterisk beside their World Cup in '66. That ball didn't cross the line. But anyways, you think they're unbearable now? Wow. So maybe once Tuchel leaves after 2028, he said he's not leaving. He has a contract till 2028. He's not leaving, and I don't think the FA is going to get rid of him. But after he leaves, after this tournament, you should be looking at how you rate players. I think a lot of players on the English national team are very, very overrated, and their skill set is very, very overrated. Harry Kane's a great striker, but he disappeared in the last two games against Norway and against Argentina. Disappeared. All these players you're looking for to be the man and step up, none of them did, if you ask me, in that game. None of them did. And England are very lucky that the refs didn't call that ball hitting the wire in the Norway game, because it did hit the wire, guys. It did. I don't care about technology and ball graphs. I don't care. It hit the wire. So we have a final. We have a third place game on Saturday, France and England. I'm assuming we're going to see Kobe Mainoo in those games. We're going to see the backups playing all the time, even for France. Ryan Cherki should start. And all this is what I'm predicting from that game. The game's going to be amazing, and we're going to look at both coaches and say, well, how come he didn't play? Or how come he didn't play? How come he didn't play? Just like we're looking at Jesse Marsh and asking why Jaden Nelson didn't play more than 5 minutes than he did. But another 4 years, we'll see if the lessons have been learned. So guys, if you're not subscribed to the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube at Football Weekly Pod, all one word. You can subscribe to the podcast on Instagram. You can subscribe to the podcast on TikTok. Join the conversation. The last video, some spicy conversations going. You can tell who's a Argentina Messi fan. It's easy to tell. Very easy. But join the conversation. Come online, join the conversation. That's all. You can follow. You definitely subscribe to the podcast. Hit the bell. You'll get a notification every time that I do a new show. One more left. I'm not going to do a show after the third place game unless it's a cracker. But we'll do a show after the final for sure. Take a couple of weeks off. And then we're right back at it with the Football Weekly podcast as the leagues get going. Also, stay tuned for the Clock Enders podcast on my Arsenal podcast, where we talk all things Arsenal at Clock Enders Pod, all one word. Again, on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram. So, guys, I've got the next 2 days off. I'm going to start enjoying my evening. Please be safe out there if you're in Ontario. Buy one of those masks with the filters on it because you're gonna need it. It's very smoky outside. But for sure, we'll do a show on Sunday at the end of the final game. So guys, take care, and we'll catch you after that game.